Let us and think, my people. In the heart of the ancient village of Amulu, where the sun painted golden streaks across the savannah and elders spoke in proverbs under the irako trees, lived a man whose name sent chills down the spines of even the bravest warriors, Agadagu the Terrible. Agadagu was no ordinary man. His chest was as wide as a granary, and his fists, they said, could crush a man's skull like a kola nut. His voice rumbled like distant thunder, and his eyes burned like a fire in the dry season. He was a fighter born of no clan, raised by no family. No one knew where he came from, only that he arrived one Harmattan morning, carrying nothing but a blood-stained staff and a gourd of palm wine. At first, the villagers welcomed him as was the custom in Amulu. He was fed and housed, allowed to rest. But when the village men gathered for wrestling during the New Yam festival, Agadagu stepped into the ring uninvited. He didn't just defeat their champion, he humiliated him. From that day, Agadagu ruled with his fists. The elders tried to counsel him, but he laughed in their faces. The hunters avoided him, the warriors feared him, and even the masquerades avoided passing by his compound during festivals. If a man displeased him, he beat him. If a woman refused him palm wine, he destroyed her pots. When children played too loud, he hurled stones at them. He was a curse wrapped in muscle. Year after year, his terror deepened. No one dared to challenge him. Warriors from neighboring villages came to test him, but he broke their limbs and sent them home limping. Agadagu even mocked the gods, boasting loudly at the village square, "Not even a Madioha can strike me down." People began to whisper that Agadagu had juju, dark powers that made him unbeatable. The priests cast cowries, but the gods remained silent. The village became a place of fear, its people broken in spirit. Until Obinna. He was just a boy of 16, slender, soft-spoken, and unknown beyond the dusty compound of his widowed mother. Obinna fetched firewood, helped elders carry yams and herded goats. No one noticed him, not even the village girls. But Obinna had something no one else in the village dared to nurture: dreams. You see, Obinna had watched Agadagu for years. He watched how the man walked, how he struck, how he moved in battle. In the quiet corners of the forest, Obinna would mimic his movements using sticks and vines. At night, while others trembled in their beds, Obinna trained under the moonlight, guided by nothing but the whisper of the wind and the rhythm of the earth. But more than his body, Obinna trained his spirit. One day, Agadagu stormed into the market and demanded all the palm oil from Mama Ngozi's stall. When she refused, he slapped her so hard her head wrap flew into a nearby pot of soup. Obinna, standing nearby, clenched his fists. That night, he knelt before his mother. "Mama," he said, "I want to fight Agadagu." His mother stared at him in disbelief. "My son, do you wish to die before you even grow beards?" "I would rather die trying than live hiding," Obinna said. His mother wept. "He is not a man. He is a demon in human flesh." But Obinna only looked up at the sky. Even demons fall. Word spread quickly. A mere boy had challenged Agadagu to a fight. The village erupted in shock. Some laughed. Others cursed. Some prayed for the boy while others prepared for his burial. Agadagu, amused, agreed. "Let the people see how easily I break a broomstick," he boomed, his voice echoing into the hills. The elders tried to stop the boy, but Obinna remained resolute. If the gods have refused to strike him, then let a child remind him of fear. The day of the fight, the entire village gathered at the wrestling arena. Drums were silent. Eyes wide. The wind was still. Agadagu arrived, bare-chested, oiled and glistening like a panther. Obinna came wearing a red wrapper and a string of cowries around his neck. The gong sounded. Agadagu charged like a bull. But Obinna did not move. He waited. At the last moment, Obinna spun aside, letting Agadagu fall forward. The crowd gasped. Agadagu roared and turned again, swinging a punch. Obinna ducked and jabbed twice into Agadagu's ribs. People began to murmur. Was the boy winning? Again and again Agadagu attacked. But Obinna was water, flowing, dodging, striking. He had studied the giant's every move. He knew that Agadagu's left leg dragged slightly. He knew the fighter gasped after every third swing. And he knew how to wait. Minutes passed. Then Obinna stepped forward and landed a blow to Agadagu's chest. The giant staggered. The crowd went silent. Agadagu laughed. "You think you can beat me with mosquito slaps?" He lunged again. But Obinna wasn't aiming to outpunch him. He aimed to outlast him. Agadagu grew tired. Sweat poured down his face. His blows slowed. And then it happened. Obinna ducked one final time and landed a powerful elbow to Agadagu's jaw. The fighter stumbled back and fell, crashed, like a fallen palm tree. The crowd froze. Was it a trick? But Agadaga didn't rise. He groaned. He turned his head and spat blood. Then, slowly, the people stood. They began to cheer. First one, then another, then the entire village. The drums returned. Women ululated. Children danced. Elders beat their staffs on the ground in approval. Agadaga lay still. He had been defeated, not by a warrior, not by a god, but by a boy. Obinna stood in the center, chest heaving, eyes sharp. The elders gathered around him. "My son," said the oldest among them, "you have brought peace to Amulu. What do you desire?" Obinna looked around and said, "I want no riches. Only that we never again let fear make us silent." The people bowed to him. From that day, Obinna was no longer a forgotten boy. He became a symbol, a reminder that courage is not measured by muscles, but by the heart behind them. Statues were carved in his honor. Songs were sung in his name. And Agadaga? He was banished from the land, never to return. Some say he wandered into the evil forest. Others believe he was taken by the spirits. But Amulu never saw him again. And Obinna? He grew to become a great leader, wise and humble, always reminding the people. The strength of a lion does not lie in its roar but in the patience of its hunt.